Hello, Buzz's Retirement Garage again. Welcome. The other day, I talked about my situation where I'm currently retired, 10 weeks into it, and I talked about some of the changes that have happened in my life over the last 10 weeks that I've been retired, newly retired. And one of them was that now getting 8 hours of sleep. That's uh, that's actually pretty special. As I spoke in the other video, when you're working, so a lot of times you're only getting 6, 7 hours of sleep, uh, 5 days a week, and then you tend to sleep in maybe on a Saturday, Sunday, and that was my life for 40 years. 40. So I started work at 7 or 7:30. 20 years, 21 years, I started work at 7 for, or there were times I worked third shift or second shift. Um, but I've put in a minimum of 8 hours a day, if not 10. Sometimes we were working 12-hour shifts. Now, back then, when I worked at Modern Tool and Die, I came up just assembling lawnmowers, and then I became a production planner. Actually, a cycle counter first, and then a production planner. Um, But yeah, so 7 o'clock, I'm at work every day. This last 19 years, I worked at a company in Akron. And between the commute of 90 minutes round trip and, working, by the time I get home, there's not much I'm going to do. I'm pretty tired. I hear I'm 63, going to be 64 in January. So, you get pretty tired and you don't feel like jumping into a big project or um, you know, something that's going to take you a long time. You can't finish it. The weekends, all I had was Saturday. Sunday, I help take care of my father-in-law. We go over there, and uh, my sister-in-law gets a break, and she's staying over there with them, and she gets to leave and go to Costco or wherever she has to go. So she's gone 6 hours a day on Sundays. So I really only have 4 days, 4 Saturdays a month to myself and to my wife. And, after 40 years, it just, nah, let's just stop. But anyway, I've been watching guys, been watching guys on YouTube like Sarasota Tim. Um, he pulled his Social Security at 62 and he's living in a travel trailer and he's having a great time. There's Dwayne from retirement something 500,000. He basically is charting. He retired early at I think 50. What did he say? 50, 50 something. I thought he said, and 56 maybe. And he retired with 500,000, so he keeps track of that, and he shows us what he's doing. Um, there's also Steve's Retirement Corner. He's just one of those guys that he's a laid back. I don't know where he's at, but he's a laid back dude. And he just talks about daily life, being retired. All these three that I'm talking about are retired, and I just enjoy their content. I'm sure there's going to be more, but again, I'm only 10 weeks into this, and yeah, now I have more time to watch YouTube. Um, but we talked the other day, the other video about 10 weeks retired, and what are some of the things that are interesting about it so far? Well, sleep with no alarm. No alarm. I don't need to set an alarm for the first time in 40 years. Imagine that. Now I do go doctors, dentist, and like I got an appointment coming up this week at 8:30, so I'll be up. And I wake up at 6 anyway. It's just natural. But I go back to sleep. So, but the one thing that we talked about here on the last video was for the last 9 weeks or so, the dreams that I've had. I'm doing that, getting up at 6 and then I'm falling back asleep. But once you fall asleep and you sleep another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it may be, You get that, what do they call that? Stage 1, stage 2 sleep, where you can, you do most of your dreaming. And so I never had that luxury in the last 40 years because I would be dog tired, go to sleep, get a deep sleep, even though it was only for 6, 7 hours, get up, and then I'm on my way. With my current situation, I'm falling back asleep, and for an hour or two, I'm doing that REM sleep or stage 1, stage 2 sleep, and I am dreaming like crazy and remembering every single dream that I have, and just some crazy stuff. So that's one thing that's really I take away from this retirement so far is just the dreams that I'm having. It's amazing. It's really amazing. But anyway, check out those three guys if you get a chance. They're interesting guys. We're going to talk about in upcoming videos. We're going to talk about how I got to retirement, how I hope I can stay on retirement. I did not retire with a lot of money. Um, I retired because I was driving to Akron and back. My company that I was working with was losing a big customer, Toyota, just because the automotive frame that was being built for the Tacoma for the last 20 years has a radical change done to it, and they're not awarding, since it's going to be built in Mexico, they're not awarding us in Akron, Ohio, the work. It's going to stay down more south, Texas slash in Mexico. So, um, so there's going to be, they're already on 32, 36 hours at the plant. So I got out, and because of the winter time, I got out. I don't want to drive the 90-minute round trip in the winter again. And I started taking my Social Security, so I'm getting that in December. So in the upcoming videos, we're going to talk about what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and maybe you guys can help me out as to some of your education or experiences, I should say, with retirement, because it's all new, it's weird. I still think about money a lot. I'm still um, in that mode of I should be doing something, I should be working, I should be bringing in money, I should be still investing, which people say that's natural, but I'm not out of that mode yet, 10 weeks into this, and maybe you guys can offer me some advice. You were there, and maybe you weren't, maybe you were, but what have you done? What's the right path? What's a path that you took that made sense? What's a path that you took that didn't make sense? So maybe you'll give me some comments and help me on my path over the next few weeks. Thank you. We'll see you again.